Okay, Saturday morning in the kingdom, and I got the me phone in where it's warm. Yes, we're in the hoe shack. I got it stuck in just like last year. Yes, but we got 2 doors here this year. All right. So this morning we woke up to minus 18 Celsius, but it feels like minus 28. That's chilly willy. All right. And then on the yo-yo scale, +3. Oh, that feels so warm, but feels like minus 10. So confusing. Yes, 42 hours with no power and nobody cared. We had no weather event or anything like that. Just a tree fell on the hydro line. How embarrassing. And then they hook up the power and then it goes out for those other communities. And then when they finally got us hooked up, it stayed on. So the staff and I will be spending most of the day getting, how would you say, the mess cleaned up and organized. It's a good thing we had the wood stoves to take care of ourselves. Plus the welders as generators. Yes! Unreal. So the town of WHO-ville will take a couple of days to recover. Yes, the store has to throw out all the food and everything. A lot of stuff got frozen. Who cares? Oh well. Generators are cheap, but oh well. And the water lines will be frozen in WHO-ville too. Oh well, that'll keep the town crews busy. But oh well, what do you do? We live at the end of the world, in the new world, where nobody cares. Yes! Alright, let's see if we can back up without the me phone censoring me. Once it gets chilly willy, it censors me. So let's see what we can do. We got the wood stoves going. The smoke is rolling down. We did very well. Yes. And hopefully we don't have to do this more than, how would you say, once a year. Also, too, I made a mistake. It wasn't 2022 when the power went out for 3 days in July. It was 2023. So that says a lot. As the, how would you say, the new world. We're in a demise, downward spiral, because nobody cares. Yes, nobody cares. Not even the hydro company. And now the money I had for my hydro bill this month, I spent it all keeping the generators running to keep my, how would you say, pipes from freezing. So I'll use that money to replace the gas and the parts we used, and then I can't pay hydro. And then hydro will be mad because I missed a payment. Well, I said to them I spent my budgeted money to keep my property alive. They don't care. They'll tell me to go on welfare. That way I don't have to worry about the frozen pipes or anything. Welcome to the new world. All right, let's put this back in where it's warm. Hopefully I didn't get censored. If we did get censored, I'll note it in the end screen. No, I can put it on the video itself. I'm learning. All right, we better go. Here comes the boss, even on a Saturday. Okay, just like our forefathers and everything like that before us, here I am with ice cubes. Icicles, we're melting them. Yes, remember Fonzarelli on the Happy Days show? Tell him that guy will watch it melt and then we'll put it back together later. That was funny back in the day. So we're mixing some Kool-Aid. I didn't drink much Kool-Aid over the power outage because I had to stay sober. So now it doesn't taste the same without vodka. All right, so we got the ice cubes there going and we have a bunch in here. We picked a bunch yesterday. And we're letting them thaw in the big pot. Yes, that's the way we do it. But we needed some fresh ice cubes or icicles off the building so we could melt them now to make some morning coffee.
Saturday morning in WHO-ville, it's just after 10 a.m. and as you can see, it's finally not snowing. It's been snowing for the last couple days while the power was out. I had such a nice sleep last night. I actually slept through the whole night. I didn't have to get up and put wood in the stove. I am going to clean out the wood stove today since it's been burning non-stop for the last couple days. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make breakfast, and do the weather. Almost 11 a.m. and I just got the quad out. It barely made it out of the quad shed. This will be the last time I'm using the quad. When I head to the kingdom after lunch, I'll be bringing home the Yamaha until the Polaris is fixed. Now let's head up and do some shopping. Just after 11 a.m. and I made it back from shopping. It was $51. The only thing I really got today was bread and a case of pop and then some snacks. I didn't want to buy any milk or frozen stuff since all their coolers and everything kind of thawed out when the power was out. They were trying to sell it all for full price and 50% off, but that's just gross. I don't want to get sick off that. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out, and wait for 1 p.m.
Okay, about 11 o'clock in the kingdom, and we're out here organizing. Yes, we had to went into a low pressure system. I had to put the fan in front of the door there to give it a little boost. It's going good now. Can you hear the roar? Ooh, so now we'll get some heat. But luckily, when the power was out, the fires were burning good and steady. There was no drama. All right, so over here, we're organizing. Yes, we have this extra cable I dragged in from the shed, and I never marked it. Yes, I guesstimated. So the best way to figure it out, all right, it's over there, and it's over here. And then we just look up here to the reference, my memory. Shop, 24 feet from the doors to the front of the workbench, or the workbench. That's April 2022. All right, so let's walk up here. All right, everybody needs their walk and talk exercise videos. So there we are at the bench, and we're gonna tag it this time. Yes. So sober me can find it. Yes. All right. So we got to go through the electrical plugs here. We're getting the cables all sorted and organized here for the next time, because if we live in the new world, it's going to be more of the next time. This is going to be a regular occurrence like what they have over in those communist countries. Yes, I just shake my head. But oh well, we're having fun, and let's get this workbench cleaned off. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and now that stove is burning good. We got the vent open, the damper open, everything's open, the door's open ajar, and she's putting out some heat finally. But we have to give it some accelerants. All right, so we're getting back to being organized. Yes, there's all the gloves and everything. You got to keep them dry. All right, so we're getting everything organized. Everything has been put back, ready to go back to the Trader 8 storage trailer. So we got everything marked here. The welding plugs can go back because we have to make the new cable, which is right here. And the other cable is 24 feet. So over here, we're getting smart. Yes, we're getting smart. So we got the power panel back together. Everything is good. Last night, when I put it together, this one got flipped off. So that's the new shop 1220 volts. So that's the yard lights on that side of the yard, and the plug-ins for Thor and the green toy. So we figured that out. Plus, when I switched over to hydropower for the house, I still had the one breaker off for the heat. That took about 2 hours to figure out why it was not getting warm in the house. So minor details. So you have to keep on top. So we marked the cable lugs or copper lugs to bolt the cables together. This time I marked on there 14mm wrench and 19mm wrench to tighten those lugs up. Yes, because I can't remember off the top of my head. The joys of getting old. So you put it right there, so you can find it in the dark when you're using a flashlight. And look at that, the workbench is cleaned off. The staff will be here after lunch. We got things to do. We got to concentrate mainly on the dog trails because they're very hard to walk on. So we got to drag them, plus get her Polaris Skidoo. Yes, the Polaris Skidoo into the hose shack to warm up for a service, and then she can drive it.
Almost 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's negative 13 degrees Celsius, which is 8 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. I put the blue tub my dad brought over yesterday from the Yamaha on the back of the quad so I can bring the batteries back. Now let's head inside, let the dogs back in, and go over to the kingdom. 1 p.m. and I made it to the kingdom. Looks like we are putting the quad into the shed that's in behind me here, getting the Polaris out and the Yamaha. The Polaris will go into the hose shack, and the other quad from the hose shack will also go into the shed as well. Then we'll do a quick service on the Polaris. I probably won't be taking it home today, but hopefully in the next couple days I will. Now let's head down to the shop. Down in the hose shack, and we are going to get this quad out and drag it around to the shed, and then we'll get the Polaris and the Yamaha out, and then both the quads will get put away for the winter. It's a pretty tight fit. Made it in behind the house, no problem. I'm surprised I didn't get stuck with those knobby tires. Now we'll open up the shed here and get the Polaris out. We're just going to drag the Polaris around to the shop. That way it can warm up inside the hose shack, and then we'll put the two quads away. Got the Polaris out and the one quad in. Now we'll get this other quad in, and we can close up the shed and drag the Polaris down to the hose shack and put it in where it's nice and warm. 1:30 and we got the two quads put away. We might have to put one of them back into the shop, so we didn't put it in there nicely, but we made sure to take the batteries off, that way they don't freeze. Now I'll help my dad get the Polaris into the hose shack. Almost 2 p.m. we just got the Polaris into the hose shack. We're going to let it sit and warm up overnight. Then tomorrow we'll do a quick service on it and hopefully get it running so I can take it home. I will be taking home the big toboggan as well with the Yamaha. We just have to find a pin for it, and I have to find my hitch. For some reason these ones have hitches that you have to put in, which is really annoying because if you lose the hitch then you can't tow anything around. Now we'll go around and fill up Lavern and the Yamaha and then start packing some trails. 2 p.m. we're in behind the house and my dad is drilling a hole in the back of the tire so we can hook a cable on and put a pallet behind it. That way it makes the trail nice and smooth. While he does that, I'll gas up Lavern. Just after 2 p.m. and I was able to find my hitch. It was in the shop exactly where we left it last season. Now I'll head outside and see what my dad's doing with Lavern. Over at Lavern now, and my dad was able to find a piece to put inside the tire here. We were going to feed a cable through, but we couldn't find any because we organized it all. Now we'll get a little strap and clevis it onto there and grab a pallet out of our pile. 2:30 and we're able to get a pallet onto the back of the tire. Now we'll go around and start packing some trails. Well, that didn't last very long. As you can see right there, we hooked the only rock on this trail. Now I'll have to push the pallet over, flip it to the other side, and see how far we can make it before we rip it off again. p.m. my dad's just gonna do one more circle around the yard, and while he does that, I'm gonna warm up and do a few things in the house. Almost 3:30 and my dad got Lavern Park. Now we're down at the shop. My dad's collecting icicles so we can melt them and turn them into water, and then we'll cut up some firewood. $3:30 and we just got the cooler filled up with icicles, so my dad should have some water. Now I'll put this in the house and go down and cut some firewood. Down at the shop now, and my dad's gonna oil up the chain and start cutting some firewood. While he does that, I'll fill up the totes and do a couple other things. 4 p.m. we just got all the wheelbarrows and the wagons filled, and even the tubs as well. The box trailer is empty, so we're picking out of the fancy trailer. Good thing we loaded small stuff on top. I'm officially done in the kingdom, so I'll grab my dog treats and head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's negative 13 degrees Celsius, which is 8 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. I had no problem getting the Yamaha home. It runs pretty good. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. We've had enough. We're finally getting caught up. We're both tired, so we did lots today. We have Thor, the plow truck, plugged in so we can get out the front gate. Yes, the front gate. We got to plow it. All right, let's see. Well, hopefully we'll get the snow truck out. We still got a little bit more firewood in the trailer, but we're prepared. And we got the wood stoves going. Yes, to smoke out the neighbors. Yes, I'll fire up the chainsaw later to really annoy them. All right, look at the flags. They're in their natural state. All right, I haven't untangled them since Wednesday. I'm going to have to walk over there. It'd be an adventure. I might have to take a beer. All right, let's go walk the dogs, make a video, and talk to you later.